The Ship of Fools, Episode 106, How to Break a Pirate Ship. Paralia 8 had barely faded from the Shadow Quest's aft sensors when Snipes strutted onto the bridge with the swagger of a man who had just discovered a new way to inconvenience the universe. He slapped a shiny debit card into Banning's hand. "There you go, Commander, payment in full." Banning blinked. "Payment for what?" "The 50 credits I borrowed last week." "You borrowed 200. Snipes waved dismissively. "Reverse inflation." Banning turned the card over. "Snipes, this has your name on it." "Yep. It's my Galactic Credit Debit Deluxe card. Unlimited swipes, no fees, no questions asked." Aurora flickered. "Snipes, this card is issued by a discount banking kiosk located inside a pawn shop." Snipes grinned. "I happen to have an extra Yarnell energy core lying around. Pretty convenient, right?" Banning sighed. "Fine. I'll use it on shore leave." He pocketed the card, unaware that this tiny decision would ruin his entire evening. The planet Rabish 6 was a neon-lit sprawl of casinos, bars, and questionable life choices. Banning stepped into a dim tavern called the Rusty Nebula, hoping for a quiet drink. The place smelled of spilled ale, fried synthfish, and alien sweat. A flickering hollow sign buzzed overhead. A few patrons hunched over tables, muttering into their glasses. Banning sat at the bar. He slapped Snipes' debit card down and ordered, "Whiskey, something that won't kill me." The waitress, a tall woman with sharp eyes and a smile that didn't reach them, leaned in. "First drinks on the house, handsome." Banning raised an eyebrow. "That's suspicious." She winked. "You look like a man who needs to relax." She slid him a glass. He took a sip. The room tilted. The lights blurred. His vision tunneled. He muttered, "Aurora, I think I've been—" He slumped forward. The waitress caught him before he hit the floor. Two rough-looking men emerged from the shadows, grabbed Banning under the arms, and dragged him out the back door. The waitress whispered, "Captain said to bring him in alive. Looks like we got Snipes after all." Banning was jolted awake by the harsh noises of machinery grinding and clanking. He found himself chained to a chair inside a rundown starship, cobbled together from leftover parts and questionable choices. A pirate captain with a cybernetic yellow eye loomed over him. "Snipes!" the captain growled. "We finally caught up with you." Banning blinked. "I'm not Snipes." The captain laughed. "Nice try. You paid with your debit card." Banning groaned. "Of course I did." The captain paced. "We need an engineer. Our warp core is failing, the plasma conduits are leaking, and the coolant system screams at night." Banning frowned. "Machines shouldn't scream." "Ours do." The captain leaned in. "You're going to fix our ship." Banning swallowed. "I don't know anything about engineering." The captain grinned, show off a golden tooth. "Then you better learn fast." The pirates shoved Banning into the engine room, a cavernous space filled with sparking wires, leaking pipes, and machinery held together with duct tape and rusty wire. A plasma conduit hissed ominously. A coolant tank rattled. A panel sparked every few seconds like it was trying to communicate in Morse code. Banning stared at the chaos. "I can't fix this." A pirate shoved a wrench into his hand. "Figure it out, Snipes." Banning muttered, "I'm going to kill him." He approached the warp core, which emitted a low, unsettling groan. Aurora's voice echoed in his memory. "Commander, please do not touch anything that glows." He touched nothing. He stalled. He tightened bolts that didn't need tightening. He loosened bolts that did nothing. He rewired a panel incorrectly on purpose. He unplugged something important. The ship lurched. A pirate shouted, "What was that?" Banning replied, "Routine maintenance." He just hoped he didn't accidentally pull a Snipes and blow something up. Back on the Shadow Quest, Moxie paced the bridge like a storm cloud with fists. Banning hasn't checked in? That's not like him. Aurora flickered. His last known location was a bar called the Rusty Nebula. Snipes perked up. Ooh, I love that place. They have greasy nachos that glow in the dark. Moxie glared. You're coming with us. Snipes gulped. Why? Because whatever happened to the commander, I'm sure, was your fault. Snipes blinked. That's fair. The Shadow Quest crew stormed into the Rusty Nebula. The waitress froze when she saw them. Moxie grabbed her by the apron. Where is he? The waitress stammered. I don't know who you mean. Moxie decked her. The woman crumpled. Snipes winced. Wow, that was effective. Aurora scanned the unconscious waitress. She has a pirate insignia tattoo. She is affiliated with the Rabbish Raiders. Moxie cracked her knuckles. Then we know where to go. The pirate ship orbited Rabbish 6 like a wounded animal. The Shadow Quest approached silently. Inside, Banning was still stalling. A pirate shouted, "The warp core is overheating!" Banning replied, "Have you tried turning it off and on again?" The pirate blinked. "Can you do that?" "No." The ship shook violently. The captain stormed in. "Snipes, fix it or we all die." Banning grumbled, "I'm trying to figure it out. This isn't easy. It's rocket science, after all." Just then, the hull reverberated with a loud clang. Moxie's voice echoed through the ship. "Banning, where are you?" Banning shouted, "Engine room!" The door burst open. Moxie charged in, fists first. Snipes followed, tripping over a toolbox. Aurora flickered behind them. "Commander, you appear unharmed. Statistically improbable." Banning pointed at the warp core. "Can we leave before that explodes?" Snipes examined it. "Oh, wow! That's bad. That's really bad. That's—" The warp core groaned. Snipes screamed, "Run!" The crew sprinted through the pirate ship as alarms blared. Pirates scrambled in confusion. Moxie knocked out anyone who got too close. Snipes accidentally knocked himself out on a low beam, then recovered instantly. They reached the airlock. Aurora sealed the door behind them. The Shadow Quest detached just as the pirate ship sputtered, sparked, and drifted helplessly. Banning collapsed into his chair. "I'm never using Snipes' debit card again." Snipes shrugged. "It has great rewards." Moxie glared. "Yeah, kidnapping." Aurora added, "Statistically, you should destroy that card." Banning pulled it from his pocket. It sparked. He dropped it. Snipes winced. "Oh yeah, it does that sometimes." Banning groaned. "I hate you, Snipes." Snipes grinned. "But you love my sense of humor." "No." Aurora flickered. "Statistically, he does not." The Shadow Quest jumped to warp, leaving behind a broken pirate ship full of confused criminals who still believed they had kidnapped the galaxy's worst engineer. Epilogue: Misidentify Theft. The Shadow Quest cruised through quiet space, its engines humming with the comforting steadiness Banning had desperately missed aboard the pirate death trap. He sat in his command chair, arms crossed, still scowling at Snipes from across the bridge. Snipes sat sideways in his own chair, swinging his legs, humming cheerfully, completely unbothered by the fact that Banning had nearly been forced to repair a warp core with a wrench and blind optimism. Aurora flickered beside them. "Commander, your heart rate remains elevated. You may be experiencing residual stress." Banning muttered, "Residual Snipes." Moxie leaned back in her seat, smirking. "You know, Banning, you should be flattered. Someone finally mistook you for Snipes." Banning groaned. "That's not flattering. That's a cry for help." Snipes gasped. "Hey, I'll have you know I'm very kidnappable." Moxie raised an eyebrow. "That's not the compliment you think it is." Aurora added, "Statistically, Snipes is the least valuable hostage in the quadrant." Snipes crossed his arms. I am very valuable. I have skills. Banning stared at him. Name one. Snipes opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. I can juggle? Moxie snorted. You juggle like you fix things, badly, and with a high chance of explosion. Snipes brightened. But I can juggle. Aurora flickered. Statistically, you cannot. Snipes stood up. I'll prove it. He grabbed 3 objects from the nearest console, a hydrospanner, a data pad, and a sealed emergency ration pack. He tossed them into the air. The hydrospanner hit him in the forehead. The data pad hit the floor and exploded in a shower of sparks. The ration pack hit the self-destruct button cover. Alarms blared. Banning shouted, Snipes! Snipes scrambled to hit the cancel button. I got it! I got it! I got... He hit the wrong button. The lights dimmed. The ship lurched. Aurora flickered. Snipes has activated the emergency karaoke protocol. The speakers crackled. A jaunty tune began to play. Snipes grinned. Oh, I love this one. Banning buried his face in his hands. I survived pirates for this. Moxie patted his shoulder. Welcome home, Marshal. Banning groaned. Don't call me that. Aurora dimmed the lights to a soft blue. Commander, statistically, your stress levels will decrease once Snipes stops singing. Snipes belted out the first line of the song, off-key, enthusiastic, and painfully loud. Banning muttered, So... never. The Shadow Quest shot into the stars, leaving behind a pirate crew still wondering why their engineer didn't know what a plasma conduit was, and a commander who now knew with absolute certainty that Snipes' debit card was the most dangerous object in the galaxy. End of episode 106. The missions of the Shadow Quest, The Ship of Fools, will continue.